Hi, Denny. Hey, Austin. Welcome. It might not go well. I think this is gonna be tough. Yeah, I've got the repro already. I'll start with that just to show everybody in here. I'm sure I'll do it again because more people will come in and want to see it. But I did some precursory debugging last night, and yeah. So let's go take a look at it now. What it looks like, so everybody can see. At least everybody, all the 9 people that are in here so far. Hello, everybody. Did I watch Coinbox? Unfortunately, I missed it. But I did hear about the desync that happened, which is why we're here right now. Alright, so playback, open settings folder. I did some stuff in here to help test this. So I guess I'll start a little bit further back. The process I usually take for debugging these is I get the replay from both players, and then I have this script, which this script is loading the 2 replays, one from Aklo, one from Axe, and it basically tells me when things become different in the replay, in the 2 replays, right? So if I just thank you for the Prime, M. Saloha. So if I run the script, basically what it tells me a few things. First, it tells me which codes are different for the 2 players. Now, this one doesn't actually matter. I don't want to get into why, but don't worry about this one. And then the other one is that I believe Axe was using the show friendly player indicators code, and Aklo was not. But this, in the end, this doesn't matter. This is irrelevant to the desync. I tested this just to make sure that that wasn't related, and it's not. Hey, Kronos. Oh. So, now we get to the actual interesting stuff, which is the differences between the replays. So on frame 7558, which is pretty far into the game, the position for player 1, which is Pikachu, is off by 1. Like 1 melee unit. 1 full melee unit. So this tells me approximately when the desync happened. Or at least when the desync... So in this case, I think what happens is memory gets desynced before the game state does. And we'll get into that, but this is when the game state itself eventually does get desynced. And let's take a look at that now. So I was able to figure out how to repro this. And basically what I did is I set up a thing that'll play the same replay twice, but in one of them, so these are my playback configurations. In one of them, and basically this just tells Dolphin how to play back a replay. And the important parts are that we're not showing any rollbacks, or we're not playing back any rollbacks, we're just playing the final frames. And we're not applying any resync logic. And the other important part that you'll notice is the start frame here. So start frame 7488 is, for one of them, it's going to fast forward to this frame when I start the replay, and then it'll start on that frame. Now for this one, you'll notice this one is 7489 instead of 7488, and that's the only difference. It's playing back the same replay, but one is fast forwarding one extra frame. So now, if I go into here and I launch playback 1, and I launch playback 2, and I'm gonna turn off the audio for now. So again, these are gonna fast forward to the points that are relevant. So you might already be able to see the desync. I'm going to play it slower, but basically the right side is what Axe saw, and the left side is what Aklo saw. Thank you, Nikki. Yeah, the Twitch chat rubber duck is very powerful. It's great. I've solved some problems that way before. So let's look at that again. So now the frame we're interested in, I think Kronos posted this one yesterday. Let me see what frame it is. 5404. So okay, great. So now we got both, and we're stepping through them, right? So if we look at 5436, which is what we're on now, 5434, these frames are most likely identical, because I think it still hasn't happened. Again, if you look at where the game state desyncs, the timer is about 54.03. In this case, we're going to be looking at 54.04. This is not exactly correct, but it's close. So we're still before that. So we haven't desynced yet. So if I step through these, you see Pikachu is like stretched out and weird, but oh yeah, she's zipping. She is zipping. Look at her go. All right. But anyway, I'm gonna step through. So even up to here, it should still be the same. And when we're gonna start to see a difference is actually here. Right there. Okay. So, let's see if I can make this a little bigger. Oh no. It's not gonna let me. It's a little hard to see. You guys might not be able to see it with the resolution. But, Pikachu's cheek, if you look at the red, like some of it is to the left side of this platform, right? And then over here, if you look at the red on Pikachu's cheek, it's like all on the platform. So Pikachu is a little bit desynced here. Good point on the Wispy. That is actually probably what happened. So that actually is great news. Because now that tells me where I need to look. Well, in this case, I don't think it matters that much. Maybe. I don't know. Okay, well, so Wispy is our culprit. Now the question is why? But that should be a little easier to figure out. You would think this is an RNG desync then. I'm actually curious. Does my script disable? No, it would tell me. I think it would tell me if the RNG seed was different. Yeah, it is interesting that the screenshots you posted, Kronos, have Wispy. How did you get those? Well, I think this is still correct because we're getting the results that the player saw. So, like, I think we're still reproing it correctly. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into debug here. And let's see if we have any wispy symbols here. Load other map file. Slippi, dolphin. User, I think. Maps? Yeah. Is it? How do you spell his freaking name? Dreamland Wispy Think. Theo, I assume you mean using a Slippi replay to create a save state, like an Uncle Punch save state? Or something along those lines? Okay, this runs every frame, probably. Maybe more than every frame. It's been talked about. I think it's a good idea. What the fuck's going on? Oh, right. We were fast forwarding. I forgot. Okay, yeah, once a frame. So, check if in range of wind. So we got some Dreamland functions here. Dreamland Wispy Think, I assume one of these randis will determine what direction Wispy's blowing. Actually, before we get into this, let's look at the clips to make sure that in these Wispy is blowing. Let's see if Wispy's blowing in the same direction or a different direction. Okay, so for Axe, Wispy's blowing left. And for Aklo, Wispy's blowing right. So yeah, that's the desync. Yeah, it could be. Is that how it's decided what direction Wispy's blowing? Hey, Ona. How you doing? You're welcome, 025. Alright. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna breakpoint all of the randi calls on here. Because my guess is it's random which direction Wispy's blowing. Ah! That's not what I wanted. So here's 1, here's 2. Well, hopefully we'll find out anyway with this analysis. Okay, so there's 6 randi calls, I think, right? And we breakpoint all of them. So now, let's unbreakpoint this. Okay, good. Are they still breakpointed? No, they're not. Okay. Let's go to... That's annoying. I don't know why sometimes it seems like it saves these, other times it doesn't. I'm sure a main line would be better here. Okay. Now my guess is every time Interesting. Okay, well, we'll see. I think what I want to see is what frames these get called on, but I think, how am I going to look at the frame? I think I can look at, it should be in memory somewhere. Thank you, Kish Prime, and welcome. Okay, I'm trying to find the memory location where we store the frame number. I just don't remember what it is. Should be able to actually send frame start, primary data buffer. Here it is. So I think it's this address. Yeah, I think that looks correct. So this is, I think, frame 1. Because if I guess I can't view it as assigned int, but I don't have super fleshed out thoughts about AI generated code. All right. Okay, so the second time is on frame 65, 1C0. How long is this going to take? It's going up pretty fast. This is 6,000. And we have to get to 7,000? Okay, yeah, this will be fine. So what I'm hoping to see, by the way, is that the frame on which one of these is called is different, or it returns a different value. But I'm trying to get closer to the frame that we actually care about, because up until then I expect it'll all be the same. But I'll double check that. I mean, well, they're both fast forwarding, so yeah, it should be the same. But I'll still step through it slowly so we can just double check all the results. So memory, let's get the frame number showing up on this one too. So was that where I said it was? Yeah. Okay. Cool. So let's get this one up 3D7, 550A. C1, is that where we're at? No, we're at 1A30. Huh. Are they already different? Oh, no, I went further on this one. Hex is hard, man. Alright, yeah, there's the 1A30. Here's the 1B46. So, okay, so now we're at 1B46 on both of them. So let's just see for funsies. The result of HSD rand I gets returned in R3. So this one calculated as 22. And this one I expect will do the same. So step over 22. So both of those are 0x22. So let's keep going. There's 1C3E. How close are we getting? Whoops. 7230. So we're starting to get pretty close, right? What are we? Yeah, we're going to 7558. Well, actually, it's going to be a little before that. Okay, so let's look at this one. 1C3E, we get 9. And then 1C3E, we get 9. Next one is 1D. And 1D, we get 32. And 1D, we get 32. I have a feeling that these are actually going to be the same, because I think it's probably more likely that it's what you guys are talking about. It probably looks at the direction, or like where a character is, and for some reason when you fast forward, the position that it looks at doesn't get updated or something, and so it's looking at an incorrect position on one of them. That is probably the most likely thing, but I'll finish this exercise regardless. But yeah, okay, yeah, so that was the 1D whatever. Because I think that decides when it's gonna blow. So this is ACLO, and then this is AX. I feel like Slippi issues are very, very niche. It'd be very tough for it to solve. I don't know. At the moment, I think they're a helpful tool, but I mean, they can't know what to do, and I don't think they can really handle very complex tasks. So it's like they can help you do some simple stuff, but I think you already have to know what the simple stuff you want to do is first, which is kind of the hard part of programming anyway. So, but I'm sure it'll get better with time, and we'll see. Okay, so it's not the Randai stuff. So as expected, it's not an RNG desync, which makes sense because I think our replay would pick that up. So instead, it's probably a direction desync. So I need to figure out where in this function it decides what direction Wispy is gonna blow, and that's annoying. I'm trying to think if I can make some guesses as to what the data looks like. I don't think Uncle Punch will respond. Hello. So, I have a theory, and that theory is that in memory somewhere, it stores what direction Wispy is blowing. And usually in Melee, directions are stored either as -1 or 1, depending on if it's blowing left or right. So I can maybe take a guess that they did the same with Wispy and try to do a cheat search to see if we can determine if we can find the memory location where that's stored. So let's try that. This may go... If my theory is incorrect, then we're not going to get anywhere with this, but I think it's worth trying. So I'm going to remove this for now. And then I'm going to wait. I'm going to play this replay. And I'm going to pause when Wispy starts blowing. Okay, so he's blowing left. So my guess is if we do a cheat search, we should be able to find... Let's see. Okay. New scan equal float exposed -1. Okay. So these are all the values in memory right now that have -1 as the float. So now we continue and we wait for Wispy to blow again. Oh, we don't know that, Ono. That's why I'm saying if my theory's wrong, then this won't work. That's just my guess, is that it's stored as a float. Okay. Okay, he's blowing to the right. So now I change it to be this. Okay, we got 2 values. So already I think that's slow enough that we can check to see if those make any sense. So I'm gonna open a different dolphin now. I'm opening this one because the memory breakpoints work much better on this one than on the Slippi build. Whatever, it's fine. I'm gonna get attacked. I'm trying to think of an easy way to... Does this work? No. Does this work? Okay, sweet. Okay, cool. So now we're gonna do a memory breakpoint on the 2 functions or the 2 addresses oh, fuck. So this address location is actually in the heap. So that means it might not be in the same location. What's up, Vad? Why not implement the better memory breakpoints in the Slippi build? Because it's a decent bit of work and it hasn't been prioritized, just like everything else that we haven't done. There's like a million things that we could be doing, and I'm only one person, so. But I think we're gonna have to try to use the memory breakpoints in the Slippi build. Yeah, no, they don't work at all unless you use a special build. Like, you have to, so... You have to use debug fast. what is allocating that struct and where it is. I just think that might be slower than than trying to use breakpoints. Oh. Uh-oh. That's not good. Maybe, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Is it Kag? But I wouldn't know where to find in the code that it does that, regardless. Enabled 30-second slow mode. Why did I do that? Activated shield mode. I did not do that intentionally. Turn off. Okay. Well, that was weird. So this is annoying. I don't know. Use /no default lib library. Where the fuck do I put that option? I assume it's gonna be one of these options somewhere, but I don't know. Blinker input. I feel like this isn't gonna work. Modify the ignore all default libraries property or specify a semicolon. linker command line. Yeah, that's not good. Yeah, that did not work. Alright, I'll be right back. Let's try a new strat for a sec. I'm gonna try to determine if I can find the where that struct is initialized, because I have an idea where it might be getting initialized. And if that's correct, then it would be faster to do this. So let's... So there's this stage initialization here. And my guess is there's probably going to be some malloc calls somewhere in here. So if I breakpoint into here, so this gets called at the start. Initialize wind hazard. Yeah, that sounds good. I don't... Let's see. R3. Thank you, KLLZ. Thank you, Ona. Okay, that's fine. I don't need this. I do not need it. I'm just gonna cheat search in here. I don't know why I didn't think of that immediately. Sometimes chat helps. Sometimes chat notices things. Though most of the time, chat is a rubber ducky. Which is also extremely helpful. Okay, so if I go back into cheat search, tools, cheat search, 32-bit, new scan, equal, thank you, ice cream, ice cream. 31 months, wow. For someone who never streams. Alright. Great. I wish I could copy these. Like, I don't think I can. Yeah. It's pretty frustrating. I think maybe on mainline you can, but I'm not even sure. I don't think it's the bottom three, but because I didn't get those when I did it earlier. Okay, did I copy those right? Yeah, 12.036, yeah. 3B BCC, yeah. 3B C6C, 3B D0C. Okay. So now, let's make some breakpoints. Let's just start with these two. Does this reset it? Store word R5. Okay, so these are getting written here. Ragdoll wind effect. R3's on the stack. So it's loading the direction from the stack, I think. Yeah. F7. Here it is. I think this should be the direction. Let's see. So F7. Nope. It is not. Oh, wait. -10. Oh boy. Thank you for the Prime Cape. So I'm confused. So store word R5. R5 is this. And it loaded R5 from here. The 0, R3, and R3 is... Let me see here. Okay, so it gets it from 0R3 and 0R3. This is R3. Where does this come from? R29. Yeah, I already did that C-thorax. I know what the difference is. At this point, I'm trying to figure out what's causing it. So basically, I'm trying to understand Melee's logic at the moment and try to understand where these values are coming from. So what I want to know is where it writes this. It's this value plus 348. Yeah, so let's add a memory breakpoint here. I'm slowly digging back in the code right now to figure out where the direction for the wind is initially written. And then I should be able to breakpoint in the replays and try to see why it's different. Theoretically. Didn't really work. Okay, let's delete these guys. It's not blowing right, Wispy. Okay, blue left this time, but... Oh. Interesting. Jesus Christ. Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to find where the initial logic for setting up the blow direction is. I probably should try to use Gidro or something to make this easier. I could actually read what this function does to some extent. But I don't have it set up on this computer right now. It looks like this gets called when Wispy's direction changes. So like, see, he's blowing right, and then see if it blows right again, it doesn't get called, but if he switches to left, I think it will. Yeah, so right here. So this is certainly kind of there. C8. Okay. Progress. Looks like this gets called once. I have hair stuck in my teeth. Alright. So it looks like this gets called once every time Wispy starts blowing. So we're close. So F2 and F3. Have very weird values in them. F, CMPU, F1 and F0. happens when it changes. Okay. Interesting. So they're both 0 if it's the same. But if it switches to the right, I think it's 1, 0. And if it switches to the left, it's 0, 1. So again, left. Okay, so 1, 0 is a switch to the right. 0, 1 is a switch to the left. Okay. F1. One of them what? Yeah, I mean, it seems like if they're different, Wispy will change sides. But I'd have to understand where those values are coming from is the more important part. Though this function is calling to me a little. If it's camera related, I'm pretty sure camera stuff is different during fast forward. And there's the player bones too. Does this return? What does this do? Does this return a value? Maybe. Let's see. Okay, so 0. Yeah, it's basically if I get 0, 0, it goes in the same direction. If I get 1, 0, it means it was previously facing left and it's going to face right. And if I get 0, 1, it was previously facing right, and then it's gonna go left. But I'll be right back. Does this return a value for F1? Let's see. F1, it's returning 1 here. One blue's right. Aha! Okay. Progress. So I think this camera something function is returning the direction in F1. So I think what will happen, so yeah, this now it's gonna turn left, yeah. And then the next one, it's returning 1, so it's gonna turn right. Yeah. Now it's returning 1 again, so it's gonna stay right. Yeah. Okay, so the bug is in this camera something function, which makes sense because I think in fast forwarding, like I said, the camera is not handled the same way. Like there's some camera updates that don't happen because during fast forwarding the camera doesn't matter, like because you don't see any of the frames anyway, so the camera position isn't supposed to matter. But unfortunately there are some parts in Melee's code that depend on the camera position. And we've tried to eliminate some of these, but clearly there's still some, they're just kind of subtle. Like for example, one very simple example is off-screen damage. Like in vanilla Melee, you take damage when you're in the magnifying glass, the loop, and that happens when you're off camera. So that's gameplay logic that's dependent on camera position. And that's why in Slippi we changed that so that you only take damage when you're outside of the camera bounds, like where the camera's willing to go, instead of off screen, right, off the camera. It's to prevent these types of desyncs. So this is just like, it's probably some kind of like coupling that in my opinion shouldn't exist, where somehow Wispy's decision to decide like what direction to blow is dependent on the camera position. So now the next thing is going to be to double check that this function indeed does return a different thing in our two replays, which it should. So let me just keep track of the address where this is. Is this function used for anything else? Function callers, greens check to spawn apple. Interesting. And then also, whatever the heck this is. Item spawn? Wow, this is called in a lot of places. So yeah, so if I go back to playback now, right, and I play my two different replays, or well, not the two different replays, but the same replay with a different start frame. And then if I breakpoint this function, that's fine. Fuck. F17 AD. Is this the one? more. Okay, 1D41. And then this one, step over. F1 is set to 1. So in this replay, it's going to blow right. Ah, what the heck? Yeah. Here it goes left. Okay. This is also exactly on the frame where fast forwarding ends, I think. It's 1D41, which is probably 7488 or 7489. 1D41. Oops. 7489. Yeah. Okay. So now we know what function is our culprit. So for example, I think, well, that doesn't matter, but if I change the value of F1 right now, I'm pretty sure I could get it to behave the way the other one does. I wonder why it decides, like, why does it... I mean, there's a very simple fix that I could do right now, I think. I think I could just make it randomize what direction Wispy blows, for example. Like, I could just make it completely random whether it's left or right, instead of being dependent on this bullshit. That would solve the problem, and is probably an acceptable solution, but it's probably better to dig into it a little bit more to understand what's going on. It's just that I think it's going to get a little bit even more hairy from here on. Yeah. Nice one, Vad. Okay. So now we're in the problematic function. We can try to see where things go wrong. That's true. Wispy could blow in a direction where there's no fighters. IX. I think it's supposed to, but it looks like it's also maybe somewhat camera dependent, or something about the player positions hasn't updated correctly. I'm guessing R29 compare with R29. What's R29? Okay, R29 is probably a pointer to some kind of, I don't know, it's some kind of struct. I'm not sure which struct. So check if two players are same. Nice. Let's see if... Okay, so those return the same thing, I think. Yeah. So there's a chance, so I did notice that there's something about, like, so notice this camera pass player bones function here. It's also maybe possible the bone positions haven't updated correctly during a fast forward, maybe, and then it's using that to determine the player positions. It's all very strange. I feel like I mean, I think it's certainly possible to rewrite the wispy blow direction logic to still look for character positions, but do it differently. Like, I feel like I could just look at the characters like position X and also like their animation state to make sure they're like alive. And that would be good enough. I don't really know why it's doing it in this strange way, but it does seem to be doing it in a strange way. At least so far as I can tell. Okay, so anyway, this load word 0 or load word, yeah. then it does match teams info FFA flag load. This should result in the same thing. I'm guessing it's checking if it's teams or free-for-all, like probably if it's singles or not, maybe. And then both of them are 0. And then it goes here if it's 0, so this one should do the same. Now here's the pass player bones function. This is the one I'm kind of intrigued about. So I have a feeling this is where the difference is going to happen. Alright, so that did a lot of shit. Like, it changed so many variables. And R3 is 0, F1 is 0. Here also R3 is 0 and F1 is 0 though. Are these values relevant? Because those values are definitely different, looks like. F0. Yeah, F0 is different. The screen KO thing is an interesting theory. I could test that very easily by just turning it off and seeing if we get a consistent result. I think it picks a random side if the player's on different sides. That's probably what this HSD randi call is right here. I think there's a very good chance it's related to the KO. I mean, you can you can see on screen like the timing is pretty suspicious. It would also explain why it doesn't happen very often. Because you'd have to time the KO at exactly... But it is still related to fast forward, because this wasn't a case where one person had rumble off and one had it on. So... But anyway, so F0 is different, clearly. Maybe that doesn't matter, because it looks like it doesn't really use it, because it overwrites it right away. So let's see. Load FS F1, stack pointer. Okay, so it loads from the stack pointer. Is this... That's different too. So yeah, so the... Whatever gets passed into here is... not the same. F31. Crazy. Yeah. Wow. Then I guess it probably does the second player, huh? I have a feeling this player is going to be the same. Yeah. So F1 is the same for Axe. F1 is just different for Aklo. Yeah, Polar Bits, I found it. That's what we're digging into right now, this function which determines which direction Wispy's gonna blow. The crazy part though is that this function gets called in a lot of places. Which means if F1, the return value F1 is ever used anywhere else, that could also desync maybe if it's used for game logic. So I think I can think of a fix to this, maybe. Hey, Rye. So I actually really think this function probably should just skip a player that's like dying. Like Aklo should not be considered in the position for which direction for Wispy to blow, I would think. Like the whole reason this is happening is because it's calculating when a player is not actually on stage. So let's see. What does it do? It loads that into R0, and then R28 already has a value though, so it just adds them. So we actually also added logic to handle this star KO situation. And the player position is handled kind of in a strange way. And I wonder if that's not happening during fast forwards. And that was to fix desync with Ice Climbers and Nana's AI. Because Nana's AI was dependent on the character position. So R28. Not equal. I see. Now it'll randomize. Yeah. So in this game, it determined that one player was on the left and one player was on the right. And I think on this game, it'll determine that both players are on the left. So here, R28 is already -1, and now it becomes -2. And now it does a compare to see if it's 0. If it's not 0, it skips. It looks like it does another compare. And if it's greater than 0, it skips. Load FS. I see. So if it's greater than 0, it'll load 1, and then okay, yeah. and then if it's less than 0, it'll load -1 here. And then that's the output. Okay. There's an easy fix, I think. Yeah, I think the easy fix is to just make it so if a character is dying, it doesn't count as being on the left or right. It just counts as the same as if they're dead, I guess. Or if they're not in the game. I'm pretty sure that would fix this issue. So let's write a code to do that, I guess. I'm also curious about this function. Where does this get called? Oh boy. Another option is to look at where is it? Look at Uncle Punch's code that handled, yeah, freeze, dead up, fall physics, this stuff. Update model position, update camera MTX. Yeah. Alright, I'll be right back a sec. I gotta think about this. It could just be a bug with the interaction with this logic. Miso has arrived. Alright, so before I do any of this stuff, I'm gonna, just for funsies, try turning screen shake off, and I'm just curious if that will prevent this bug. Alright, let's see. This is the ACLO ending. This is the axe ending. So it's not screen shake. I was pretty sure it wasn't, but it's good to double check. You wanna say hi to the stream, Miso? Go say hi to them. Okay, you don't like that. Okay. Thank you, Crack. Appreciate it. R13 minus. Oh, damn it. Ah. Well, the thing is, this thing isn't looking at the player X coordinate. For whatever reason, it's looking at... I mean, one interesting question is, Wispy is not perfectly centered, is he? And the wind blow directions are not completely... Yeah, okay. Maybe this is why it uses the camera bone positions instead of the like character positions. Because it might somehow be offset by this instead of the center. Oh no, it looks like... Okay. So for ice climbers, it'll basically always blow towards them. No, Lemon Lust. This isn't about the specific issue we're talking about. This is just documentation on how Wispy works. That's correct, Wayne Bird. No, it's not Axe's position, it's Aklo's position that throws it off. Because Aklo is here. And this function doesn't really care that he's dying. Who knows? I've been thinking of switching off Falcon recently. But I don't play very much melee anyway, so I don't know if it matters. But yes, I assume when I initially picked Falcon, the reason was very simple, and it's what Bread Accountant said. Alright. So let's write a code to fix this, shall we? I don't know if it'll be the final code that I use for it, because I might do some more digging, but let's get a code that should work to fix this problem. So, alright. So this is the assembly. Now this will only happen during fast forwards, which means it will only really happen during playback and online. But I guess I need it for both, so let's put it in common, I guess. Let's see, is there a function for this? Fast forward dynamics fix. Cool, so I can put it in this fast forward folder. I'm gonna call it Wispy direction fix. Yeah, that's correct. What Chronos said is correct, most likely. Okay, so our injection is gonna happen. Whoops. Shit. Our injection is gonna happen here. Now, we have R39, which stores the player entity struct. Xerix2C. I think I'm safe to use pretty much any register I want here. Okay, so So I'm loading the character data from the player entity struct, which is an R29. So R29 has the player entity struct. 2C is the offset to fetch the player data. So now in R12 I have the player data. What I'm going to do is I'm going to check the action state. And I'm going to check if the action state is any of the deads. Any of these. And if it's any of these, I am going to basically skip the character by loading 0 into R0. Because what this function is doing is it's loading either 1 or -1 into R0 to decide if the character is to the left or the right of center. So if I load in 0, it basically will count as if the character is in neither direction. So basically, let's load. We want to load the action state. The action state is character data offsets. I believe it's 0x10. It's 0x10, and I believe it's a word. So it's 4 bytes long. So we're going to load 0x10 into R3 from our character data. Then we're going to do compare with immediate R3, and we're going to compare it to the value. Let's see. The value is 0xa. And then basically, if it's greater than A, which means it's not one of the dead animations. If it's greater than A, we're going to exit, and then it'll run the logic it was going to run anyway. So that means the character will be handled as if it's on stage, which it is. And if it's not, we're going to load we're going to load 0 into R0, and then we're going to branch to here, I believe, because that's where, when these values are loaded, it goes to 8008655C. So this location. So we copy this address and we do a branch. All right. That should do it, I think. We add some comments. And also I need one more thing. I need to include the common. Then Wispy will blow straight at the camera. It looks like what happens if basically there's an even number of characters on each side, it just chooses randomly which direction to blow. So, thank you, RDX Magda. Alright, so if character is in a dead animation, such as camera KO, we load 0 into R0 in order to effectively say that the character is on either side, left or right, skipping the All right. Yeah, I think I try to document the ones that are like these weird fixes a little more than like the generic, like the actual logic, because these are super weird. Like, I think the logic, I can at least like sort of intuit what's going on a lot of the times. But this stuff is like, if I looked at this later, I'd be like, what the fuck is this doing? Okay, so I think this will work. So let's try it. Thank you, Cloud17. Oh no. I have to download my Gecko build tool. Okay, let's try a build now. Ah. Build playback.bat. Sweet. Okay, now go to output, playback. I take these files, and then yeah, I mean, usually I use this install file, but that install is still like not the place I'm trying to do this to right now, so I didn't want to use that. So I'm doing it manually. Okay, let's just do this instead. Alright, so we've updated the code set to include the fast forward code. Alright, let's put the prediction up. Will the desync be fixed on the first try? Predict. You got 30 seconds. Oh shit. Yes is winning. People are confident. Okay, alright, let's find out. So now we should have the new code set in here. And these files are correct. We're skipping to the correct frame. Alright, here we go. The first one. This is the axe ending. Okay. And now, the second one. This is the axe ending. So the answer was yes. All right, we did it. Yeah, so let's just see what's going on here. If I like step through the new logic. So let's see what's here. Okay, camera something. Yep. Okay, so this is our injection, right? Here. So let's yeah, let's branch here, or breakpoint here. Alright, this is the relevant one. Yeah, I might do a tweet chain to summarize. I often do them for desyncs. Alright. So let's look at what happened. So now we're looking at the first character, which actually is the character we care about. It's Aklo. And Aklo is currently dying. Okay, he's like on the camera thing. So now, actually, I should have done this on the other one, because then you can see Aklo. Let's do it on the other one. It's not going to be that hard. Okay, cool. So this is the frame we care about. You'll see Aklo is currently dying. Aklo is player 0, or player 1, but port 0. Or whatever. You guys know what I'm saying. So now we go here. So we're gonna hit our injection. All right. So when we step into our injection, the first thing it does is it loads the pointer to the character data. So that's this. Then from the pointer of the character data, it loads the state that the character is in. So in this case, for Aklo, it loads 0x7. which if you look at what that state is, 0x7 is not labeled for some reason, but it's probably one of the camera hits. I don't know why it doesn't have a name, but it's probably like dead up fall hit camera esque. So he's 7. So now what happens is, instead of doing the normal logic, since it's less than 10, less than or equal to 10, which is 0xa, this one, we load 0 into R0, and then we branch to here, which means we skip all this stuff. And this stuff was the stuff that determined like whether the character was to the left or the right. So if we got here, it would have meant the character was to the left. If we got here, it meant the character was to the right. And then it adds these values into R28, which is a register. So in this case, it's going to add 0 to it. So R28 is just going to stay 0, right? So R28 stays 0. Now we loop back around, and now we're looking at Ax, okay? And now, since we're looking at Ax, if we step into our thing, we're gonna, go forward again. We're loading the character data. We're loading the animation ID, and Ax is in state 0x19. And if we look at 0x19, 0x19 is jump F. Yeah, jump F. So jump forward, which makes sense. You could see Ax jumping right there in the background. And then, so because it's greater than that, it's going to do the normal logic. So now it's going to load the line that we replaced with our injection. It's going to load into F1 Ax's position, which is minus 46.44. And then the code exits without sort of skipping this logic anymore. So now what it does is it loads 0 into F0, and then it compares them, and then it checks to see if it's less than 0 or greater than 0. And it's less than 0, so it loads -1 into, this is a signed integer, so it loads -1 into R0, and then it adds that into R28, which is currently 0 from before. So now R28 is -1, and because R28 is -1, Wispy is going to blow to the left. Whereas before, sometimes ACLO was considered to be to the right. So it would be 1, so you'd get 1 plus -1, you'd get 0, and then you'd get into this logic at the bottom that just randomly decides what side Wispy should blow. So it's funny that even if you had this desync, you still have to get like unlucky that because you still have a 50-50 chance of not desyncing if you get the right coin flip. But in this case, they got the wrong coin flip, and so they desynced. So if both characters are in the dead up state, what's going to happen is you're going to end up with 0, which is effectively identical to one character on each side. And so you're going to go into the random direction logic. So basically, it's going to just pick a random side, and it'll blow left or right. This is PowerPC. PowerPC has a lot of registers. Okay, so now because of that, since ACLO is being skipped, the Wispy is blowing left in both cases. You'll see he's blowing left, and then blowing left was the Ax ending. So yeah, so that's it. Neither of them was right. There's no right and wrong. I wouldn't say Ax was right, but I guess so. It's right based on the change that I made, but I could have made a different change which would have made ACLO right. Which one didn't have the fast forward? I don't know. I'm not sure exactly. Actually, I think it's the ACLO ending. Because Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the ACLO ending. Because if you play the replay without any fast forwards, I think you get the ACLO ending. Well, not anymore because I changed the logic, but... Now you'll always get the axe ending. I would like to talk to Uncle Punch about this, but let me make a branch. Actually, I think I should just go to Rebirth. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. Because if the character is dead, I think they also should not be considered. That could... I don't know if their position would be correct there. Hi, Nick. Add logic to skip dead fighters. Alright, now let's assemble all of the information. I wonder if we should clip the axe and ACLO desyncs so that clips stay persistent, right? I think. I see, but they probably wouldn't anyway. I think it's not that important. I mean, I guess we could download it. But I mean, I think if Axe and Aklo want to delete it, that's up to them. When did I start learning to code? It was probably like 14, 15 maybe. I did not write keyloggers. I think keyloggers were highly unethical. I wrote botting scripts, which are less unethical, in my opinion.
Is he playing with skins, or I don't know what's going on.
Sorry, Aklo. I guess Aklo benefited from this, huh? Since Axe is winning. So I guess I'm sorry, Axe.
Is he playing with skins, or I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I'll debug that, Kronos. Yeah, there's a fix for it. I'm not 100% sure if this is the fix I want to go with in the end, because there's probably other fixes that might fix more this. So like this issue stems from this camera pass player bones function, right? And this camera pass player bones function is called in a lot of places. Like if you look, this is all the places where it's called. A lot of these functions are undocumented, so we don't really know what these functions do. But the point is that since this function can return data that's incorrect while someone is dying, that means that desyncs could happen in other places. So the fix I did is kind of specific to this function, which is called for Dreamland Wispy Think green greens check to spawn apple, and then these two functions that we don't know what they are. So all of these could have desynced potentially, depending on what's looked at or whatever, but all of these could have desynced, maybe, and those will be fixed, but it might be nice to try to fix it at this level instead. So I might take a look at that instead, but we'll see. I mean, yeah, KLLZ, I could add it everywhere, I guess, maybe. I'd have to think about that, if that would be easy or not, but... There's a lot of undocumented functions. I don't know what the percentage is. Okay. Alright, I'll be right back. Oh god, buddy, calm down. Alright, I need to build. Oops. Huh. What did these change? Oh. Oh, right. Yeah, I should, discard this for now. I'm not gonna do that at the moment. Okay, that's better. No change. No change. Oops. No change. Hello, Subtle TV and chatters. I guess this is a gameplay change, huh? I need the effects gameplay tag. Hello, hello. I just finished, well, perhaps, well, I did fix a desync. Certainly fixed the one I was looking at. Not sure if it's the final solution I will go with in the end, but what is this? With speed direction fixed. Oh, alright. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I'm realizing that this probably should not be in the folder I put it in. This is assembly. Um. Okay. I guess I just put it there instead. And then I give it an effects gameplay tag. Like that. That's correct, Bread Accountant. Each of these instructions can be directly translated into a 32-bit number, meaning 32 zeros and ones. It's kind of directly what the CPU, like the hardware CPU, is reading to run your code. Okay, we have effects gameplay now, so let's list. And then okay. There. Is it 2 steps away? I would say it's 1 step away. Well, depends on if you consider the fact that I'm processing this and converting it a little with Gecko, but assembly itself is 1 step away. I don't think that's the case here. Like I said, I think these instructions are directly translated to zeros and ones. But maybe, I don't know. I don't know for sure, but I do know that these instructions can be directly translated to a 32-bit number. Thanks, Joss. Also, first time chatter, nice. Welcome. I didn't end up using the data export because the chat noticed that Wispy was facing the different directions, so it was pretty clear what was wrong. Alright, anyway, so that should be good. And now the PR, the tests are passing, wonderful. So I think we're good. I have to decide what to do with this. It would be nice to get Uncle Punch to look at it, but trying to give me some ideas on if he thinks we could get a more generic fix in, but I think he's might not want to, so we'll see. Alright. I think that's it. I don't think I'm gonna stream anything else. I might look into why Aklo's replay did not get uploaded, but I don't think I'm gonna do that on stream. Looks good to me. Perfect. Alright, everybody. I think I'm gonna end stream. Thank you, everybody, for watching and for sticking around if you stuck around. Oh, that's me. That's Axe. That's Aklo. Hey, Ryan. See you all next time. Peace.